What's good with y'all? I'm back with another video. And today, you already know what we're talking about. I don't even have to say it, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Today, we're gonna be talking about change. When majority of y'all hear that term called change, I know it panics a lot of people. It's a term that a lot of people are not used to hearing in any way. And I have to say myself, too much quick of a change can be scary at times, but based on research and based on experience, I'm just gonna tell you how it is. Change is beneficial for you and others. When I say it's beneficial for you and others, I'm talking about once change happens, that's when you're gonna see little things like progression take place in various categories of life. Change. That's just a word that, it still scares people to this day. Even if you really think about it, you hear it all the time. Like, shit, politicians, they always talk about change. Anytime they come in to elect a new government in fucking place, one of the first key points or things these politicians be saying is, I want to bring a change to society. That's how you just know the word change is important. The reason I say this right now is change is just something that is inevitable. It's something that it doesn't matter what happens in your life, how stagnant you feel like staying in a certain place. You just feel like changing something about what you're doing every single day. Shit, I'll give you an analogy right now that just popped in my head. Let's say you have a set routine based on how you walk past a certain place every single day. Let's say at this time, 10 a.m., you go to this certain location or this breakfast spot every single day. Ask yourself this question: does it really make sense to pull up to this same location every single day when you know the world is full of people who, are out for themselves? The world is full of people who are out for themselves. If you stick to a routine every single day where you're basically attending a space at 10 a.m. to a breakfast spot every single day, your enemies, people who don't, obviously they don't fuck with you like that, bro. They could basically know your routine at that given point. They're gonna be like, okay, yeah, I know this nigga, he pulls up every single day at this certain time. He pulls up here at this breakfast spot at 10 a.m. every single day. So you know what? When we see him, I'm gonna get this nigga's ass. I'm gonna beat the fuck out of this nigga. I'm gonna set him up. And guess what? You who stick to that fucking routine every single day, that you wake up and you go to this breakfast spot at 10 a.m. every single day and you don't switch up no routine, you don't switch up no routine, guess what? On that Friday, they gonna get your ass. On that Friday, they're gonna get your ass. And I don't mean get your ass like Diddy, pause. They gonna get your ass and they gonna beat you the fuck up. That's why change is important. This right here is just an analogy. You have to comment deeper with me what I'm saying, bro. Like, change is important. You don't want to have a set routine of what you're doing every single day. You gotta switch up something. You don't know how many enemies you got. Yeah, I know. Shit, I respect the enemies. I respect enemies who, they don't fuck with you and you don't fuck with them. But like, nigga, you don't know what kind of enemies you have, bro. You don't know if Someone who's smiling in your face, nigga, someone smiling in your face could be your fucking enemy and you will never know it. Someone smiling in your face could be your enemy and you wouldn't even know it. They're gonna shake your motherfucking hands, greet you politely, smile in your face. They're gonna dap you up. Hey, what's good? What's good? But you don't know, they could be your enemy too. They just wearing masks. I'm gonna tell you right now, change is important. Don't be a person who has a set routine every single time. Or at this certain time, 10 a.m., he eats this breakfast. He's at this freaking breakfast joint, this breakfast spot. That's how people get set up. That's how people get set up. Before your enemies attack, the first thing they're gonna do is, okay, what's his routine? Where does he go to? Where is he always at every single point in time, you know? I'm just saying this shit as an analogy. Change is important, you know? Change up your schedule. Change up what you do. Don't have a set routine every single time. Another thing I want to say, though, is when I say politicians always talk about change, they talk about change because change is important. Change of leadership is important. Change of government is important, you know? We can't have the same leader for, you know, past 4 years, bro. Change is important. That's why that word change is so special to the humankind. Another thing I want to say is, let's talk about people right now, you know? Let's say you had a group of homies, you know. At one point, you just discover that you got to do something different with your life, you know? You're going separate paths or whatever, you know? You're taking your life more seriously and everything, or whatnot. You have certain people in place that are going to tell you, oh, he changed, or he switched up on me, or he changed. Nigga, of course I motherfucking changed. I'm going to say that again. Of course I changed. What the fuck do you expect me to do? You think I'm going to stay in the same spot I was a year ago? I'm constantly changing and I'm constantly evolving as a human being. You're supposed to change. You're supposed to change. You're not supposed to be the same human being you were a year ago or a month ago. If you hanging around a group of homies that smoke, drink, party all day, guess what you're going to become? You're going to become just like them, and they not really chasing the most important thing about life. You're damn right I changed. Yeah, we gotta cool off, you know. We gotta cool off right now, you know. We gotta cool off the steam a little bit, you know. We gotta cool off the steam a little bit, you know. Follow what I'm saying with my message right now. My message is important to all of you watching right now. Change is important. And when I say change is important, that's when evolving comes into place. I'm going to say that again. When I say change is important, that's when evolvement comes into place. Evolving. You have to constantly be evolving into a better version of yourself every single day. You gotta pray to God. You gotta thank God for everything He's done for you. You gotta thank God for His grace and His mercy upon your life, you know. At the same time, you still have to put in the work every single day to be changing and evolving as a human being, as a better person, you know. You gotta evolve into a better version of yourself, you know. Another thing I gotta talk about though. Can we agree as a society that, you know, not everyone that's in your life right now is gonna be with you till the end, you know? There's some people that come into your lives for certain seasons or for certain moments, you know? And God has a purpose for them being inside your life. And God has a purpose when it's time for you to, or you group, or whatever you want to call yourselves to go into separate ways. I'm talking about you. Sometimes it comes a point in life where you outgrow people and they outgrow you too. These are things people don't talk about right now, but I'm giving you the gems right now. It comes at certain points in life where I'm talking about you, outgrow people. And they outgrow you too in the process of everything. It's not a situation where you create enemies with one among each other, you know? It's not something of, oh, I don't fuck with this person or this person don't fuck with me. It's more like sometimes you gotta go your separate ways. You gotta go your separate ways at some given point. I don't care if you know you think that you and your homie you're gonna be forever to the end or whatever, you know, or you know, a point in time comes where the two of you don't agree again, you know. A point in time comes where you two do not agree again. I'm gonna say that again, you know. And one question I have in mind, no question, I'm gonna say a statement, a quote. How could two work together if they don't agree? How could two work together if they don't agree? That's just something I just want to leave in your mind, honestly. How could two work together if they don't agree? At certain points in time, you are going to go separate directions with certain people, and that's fine. God has a purpose in that, being as a better cause, you know. You just have to trust in God every single time and just know, you know, some people come into your lives for a season, and some may stay forever, but like, you know, you just have to accept everything that happens, reflect, and you got to move on, you know, learn from certain situations. This is another thing though, I gotta speak on this situation, you know. This one is just an addition, you know. We as a society, we gotta stop, you know, talking about, oh, this two people, they had a fallout with one another. They had a fallout. Who told you they had a fallout? Things happen in several people's lives, you know. Just cause you're not hanging with that same homie you were hanging with back then, it don't mean y'all two are beefing, you know. That's what I'm saying. Like, society always puts pressure into so many people, making them believe that if they don't see you hanging out with someone you used to hang out with in the past, that y'all two are now enemies and y'all beefing each other, you know. We have to understand as a society that we are grown adults. I'm going to say that again. We are grown adults. I'm going to say that. We're grown adults. Just because certain people don't hang out with certain people they used to with in the past, that doesn't mean there's bad blood. That doesn't mean bad terms. That doesn't mean there's beef around. That don't mean there's beef. That don't mean there's beef. You gotta stop painting that picture in people's minds, you know. Some people out here trying to stir shit up when there ain't shit to be stirred, you know. I know you understand what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm talking to you. I know you understand what I'm saying. A time comes in life where you outgrow someone and they outgrow you, and that's fine. If that's all you leave here with today watching this video, I'm fine with that. And remember, change is important. Change is important. You don't want to be the same person you was a month ago. You gotta always be evolving into a better version of yourself, you know. If you don't change, you die. Sometimes if you don't move forward, you die. sometimes if you don't move on, you die. And but when I say die, I'm talking about like mentally in a way, you know. I'm talking about like mentally. If you don't move forward from certain situations, you know, you become stuck in the past. Let's talk about this. Being stuck in the past is not a great thing to do, you know. A way I look at this thing is, yo, if something bad happened in the past, you know, oh, someone crushed you in the past, wherever, like someone outsmarted you in the past, you know, we have to separate the past from the present, you know what I'm saying? On some real talk, like, we gotta separate the past from the present and the future, you know? If something bad happened yesterday, you gotta leave that shit in the past. Leave that shit in the past. Leave that person that crushed you out in the past. And move forward with your life. Stay in the present moment. Stay in the present moment. And fight this battle of life, you know? I'm being for real. A lot of people are stuck in the past. I'm gonna say that again. A lot of people are stuck in the past. Yeah, we gotta cool off for a little minute, you know. Yeah. The way I look at this thing, though, is there is no such thing as a time machine. And there will never be anything such as a time machine. I don't care how much sci-fi you motherfucking watch. There is no time motherfucking machine. So get out of the motherfucking past. There's no going back to the past. All you have now is the present and the future. You can learn from your past mistakes. But don't stay stuck in the past, you know. Change, evolve, move on. If you know you're in a bad situation with a bad group of people, you can feel the vibes, you can feel the energy and everything. Move on from that situation. I don't care how long. I don't care what kind of history you got with some kind of person. If they cross you, you cross them out of the picture, you forgive them, but you move on with your life, you know. You don't hold grudges. You just move on with your life and you stay in the present and you focus on the future. Cool off for a minute. You know what? You gotta cool off for a minute. You gotta cool off for a minute. Damn, it's hard to sell right now. I don't know why I got this jacket on. But again, I gotta say this in a cool, calm way. There is no such thing as a time machine. So don't stay stuck in the past. Anything that happens in the past, anything embarrassing, you leave that shit in the past. You leave that shit in the past. Every single day is a new opportunity to live life for the purpose God has in your life, you know. God wakes you up every single day for a certain reason, you know. It's by God's grace that we wake up every single day. And honestly, that's something I feel like we should be so grateful towards. These are things we don't talk about. There are people who went to sleep last night and they didn't wake up. By the grace of they didn't wake up. That's a key element I'm gonna talk about right now. Like, every single day you wake up, thank God and pray. Communicate to the person. Communicate to God that woke you up. Is by His grace every single time. It's by His grace and His mercy that He woke you up today. He didn't wake you up because you're a good person. He didn't wake you up because you're holier than thou, or you think you're a righteous person. We're all sinners at the end of the day. But it's by His grace. It's by His grace and His mercy that He wakes us up every single day. And that's why when you wake up, you should pray and everything. And always be in the present. Some of y'all, you've been hurt in the past. Let that shit go. and move on. You've been hurt in the past. Let that shit go and move on. Move on. Don't hold grudges on no one. You just have to move on with your own situation. And that's how God is going to bless you more abundantly, you know. I'm just speaking this from my heart right now, you know. We should learn to forgive and forget, and we should move on. But don't get this twisted, though. I'm going to say this again. Don't get this twisted. Don't go around staying in that same situation where if let's say someone crushed you. Forgive them. Yeah, you can forget. But you can move on from that situation. You don't have to go back to, you know. God doesn't want you to be stupid. That's the best way I could say it. God doesn't want you to be stupid. Forgive, forget, move on from that situation. If someone hurt you in the past, forgive, forget, move on. But God doesn't want you to be stupid. You shouldn't be around the same situation, around the same environment, around the same group of individuals that potentially hurt you, you know, or cause chaos in your way. Don't be stupid. You got to move differently. That's why everything I say ties back in my original message and what I'm saying to you. Change is important. Sometimes you got to change your environment. Sometimes you got to change the people you hang around with. Sometimes you got to change your mindset. Sometimes you got to change your tactics. Sometimes you got to change your plans. Sometimes you got to change your schedule. Sometimes you got to change every single thing. But stay true to yourself. Stay true to yourself and true to God. Keep an honest heart. Stay true to yourself, stay true to God, and you're going to live life abundantly and at peace. You're going to have a good time. Like shit. A homie of mine just called me yesterday. I said, shit, what we doing? I'm kicking it. I'm enjoying my time. That's how life should be. Life should be about enjoying your time and working hard every single day, bro. See, take my message, and you gonna like this message. That's why I want to talk about change. We need change. We need change in so many things. Anyways, you already know what time it is. It's your boy Big Nate, aka Big Nathan, aka the Big Dog. You already know what time it is. We out with this podcast. You gotta come back and tune in again on the next episode of the Truth Car Podcast. Woo! Let it